Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to come on and start a new reading vlog today. So in this vlog, we're going to be reading rainbow books. So I've seen this done before. I saw Allie Reads do it and I wanted to do it too. So I think we're gonna focus on red, orange, and yellow in this vlog. And then we'll do green, blue, purple, black, white, brown, like in the other vlogs. But yeah, I'm super excited. This is gonna be really fun. I'm gonna go ahead and pick from, not from my bookshelf over here, it has like series and stuff on it. I'm gonna pick from my TBR. It's not a shelf, it's like a TBR underneath my window TBR. I guess we'll call it that. So, okay, so this is the area in question and I'm going to pick red, orange, and yellow. So if it has just a little bit of red or a little bit of yellow, it'll work. So that's how I'm gonna do it. So the first book I think I'm gonna pick, that's red. Whew. Not seeing a lot that okay, I've already read that. So this has red on it. She has a haunting, but it's honestly just a red spine. That's not gonna work. But this has red on it. Red spine, okay. Let's see. Oh my gosh, why didn't I see this? This is bright red. So that might be the first one for red. So now let's go orange. I've already read this. I am seeing this one here, which I haven't read. I Who Have Never Known Men. Or I'm also seeing this book, Now That I Found You. So I think it's going to be between these two books. I'm not feeling romance because I've just been like binging on romance. So I think I'm going to do I Who Have Never Known Men. Okay, the last book is going to be yellow. Immediately I'm seeing, that's not yellow. Well, there is yellow on the cover of this one. So immediately I'm seeing this one. There's yellow on the cover. It's perfect for the season. So maybe. I'm also seeing this one here. It's bright yellow. That could be it. And then it's not gonna be this one here, even though it's bright yellow, only because that's a Halloween book. But I did notice this one right here. And honestly, I feel like it could be this one. So the yellow choices are either Blue Sisters, Martyr, or The Getaway List. And I feel like I want it to be Martyr. So that's what we're going to be reading. So this week's reads are going to be Martyr. This is not in order. I Who Have Never Known Men. And The Housemaid's Secret. Oh. That's me realizing that this is the second book in the series and I haven't read the first book yet. I actually have never read any Frida McFadden books at all. So I might have to change my choice. Hold on. There's a book over here that I think this could work maybe. Let's see if I can get it without making it. It's not fully red, but I think it'll work. So we'll switch it to this one. Here is the updated list. Starting with red. Nobody, Somebody, Anybody. It's got a really good red back and then there's some red in the front and on the spine. So we're gonna call this red. The orange is gonna be I Who Have Never Known Men. Mostly orange. And the yellow is gonna be Martyr, which is yellow and black. So let's get to it. I'm sat here on the couch with Nobody, Somebody, Anybody, but I fear it's gonna be a rot night. I'm feeling that, but I will give you any updates if I do start reading this tonight. It's already like 7 o'clock, so we'll see. But I do usually get most of my reading done at night. I did want to give you just a little synopsis of what this is about. This is about a girl named Amy. She's a maid for the summer, but she gets to take her EMT exam for the third time because she's failed it 2 other times. And it's coming up August 25th. So she's studying and she's practicing. However, she's also dealing with mental illness. She has a lot of anxiety and depression. She's dealing with some grief as well. And she decides to do a different type of regiment. She makes up a regiment to make her feel successful, basically. So she's kind of like a little Delulu. And that's part of the reason why I picked this up. One of my favorite books of all time is Otessa Moshfegh. It's My Year of Rest and Relaxation. And the reason I picked that up is not because she blurbed it, but because this sounded a lot like My Year of Rest and Relaxation. So I'm very excited to read it. Just maybe not right now. I'm just wanting to relax after a long day of work. So I will update you definitely tomorrow, maybe tonight. Good morning. I want to give you an update on this book, Nobody, Somebody, Anybody. Last time I spoke to you about this book, I gave you like a brief synopsis or what I thought was going to happen in the book. I then was like, I'm not feeling great, so I might just chill and crash out, which I did for a couple hours, but then I was able to pick this up last night and get to, I think I got to page 92, which was chapter 6 yesterday. And then this morning I woke up and I started reading and I got to chapter 10, which is page 187. So basically this book is pretty much like what I thought it was going to be. Literary fiction, which is one of my favorite genres. Right now we are following our main character, Amy. As I said, she's trying to study to be an EMT, but she's also working as a maid. She is currently making interesting decisions that are affecting many people. So she's doing that typical literary fiction, unhinged, delusional, unreliable type of character, which I do love. This book it's not hitting as hard for me as I thought it would, which is fine. I still have about 100 pages left. So, things can change, but she's currently spending some time with her landlord, Gary. They have randomly become friends, and she is starting to become obsessed with that friendship. And she is holding on to it for dear life and doing really interesting things to keep that friendship going. So it's starting to kind of pick up. So she's also still really, really focused on finishing her EMT certification. It's coming up in like 2 weeks now. So we're like 2 weeks away in the book. And she keeps failing. It's interesting. Her choices that she's making in this book are interesting. Choices I probably wouldn't make, but that's what's fun about reading books like this. So it's probably sitting at a 3 for me right now. But like I said, I have 100 pages left and I will keep you updated. And once again, this is the book for Red. super quick update I wanted to share. I finished this book, Nobody, Somebody, Anybody, a little bit earlier today. It's about 6 o'clock now. I will give you my full thoughts at the end of this video, but I'm going to move on to my orange book because I'm reading the rainbow, red, orange, and yellow. I Who Have Never Known Men. Just a little brief synopsis. This is a story about women who are trapped in a bunker, and they have one of our main character has lived there her whole life, or most of her life. Some have experienced men. None of them have experienced childbirth, experienced modern technology or medicine, and they are all trying to survive in this bunker. I do know that this one is very, very beloved. This is a translated work from German, I think. It's very beloved. I know this is going to be a great book, and it's just under, I think it's about 200 pages. So hopefully I'll get through this pretty quick, and then I'll move on to Martyr. So I wanted to check in with you. I was able to finish this book this morning, I Who Have Never Known Men. I will give you my thoughts at the end of this video, but wow. Wow, I can see why it has so much hype. So yeah. And then I got only 4 chapters into Martyr, and I am already obsessed with this book. So this book follows our main character, Cyrus. He is a poet. He's an artist. He is an addict also, and an orphan. Both of his parents are dead. They died when he was younger, and he is struggling in his life. He becomes obsessed with being a martyr and martyrdom. So he decides, this is what I'm getting from the back and also just what I've heard. He decides to, I guess, go around and find other martyrs and see what their lives have been like and how they're coping and dealing with martyrdom, basically. Because I think he sees himself as a martyr, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. But anyway, I'm already loving it. I can see why this one is also blowing up everywhere. I'm excited to continue reading this book. I do have a little bit of editing to do, so I'm gonna edit and watch a little bit of a movie. And then after, it's only about 2 o'clock here, then afterwards I'm gonna continue with Martyr. I'm gonna try to get to a decent amount tonight, maybe about halfway through. This isn't very long. I think it's, yeah, it's a little bit over 320 pages. So I think I can get through at least half of it today. Fingers crossed. Hey guys, it's the next day and I want to give you an update on where I am in Martyr. I was able to read a large chunk of this last night. I got to chapter 28. I don't have much left, just maybe 50 pages, maybe. We're at the part where I think we're gonna get some reveals. I think we're gonna get some questions answered. And I think we're kind of at the crescendo of this story. So I'm gonna try and finish this now. It's about 3:30 right now, so I'm gonna try to get through this real quick and give you my reviews. Oh my God. So I was right. Shit is hitting the fan, and not like in a bad way, in just like a what the type of way. Wow. So we are getting some information that I was thinking might be it, but now I know it is it. Well, it's what I thought it was. This is crazy. This is crazy. Mic drop, mic drop, mic drop, mic drop. Oh my God, I need to see what's happening. Almost there. Just this much left. So I am finished with all 3 books, and I'm going to review them in the order that I read them. So the first book I read was Nobody, Somebody, Anybody for this vlog. This follows our main character, Amy. I've already given you a synopsis. I'm probably not gonna give you a synopsis again because I did it with all 3 books. This book was just okay for me. A big reason why this was just okay is because, one, I thought this would be a little bit more like, which is kind of my bad, but I thought this would be a little bit more like My Year of Rest and Relaxation, and it wasn't. And also, I read this book, and I was originally going to give it a 3.5 stars. I bumped that down to a 3 because I read these 2 books after reading this one. I don't know why I did that. I'm glad I read this one first, but yeah, I mean, after you read these, this seems unnecessary. So it wasn't terrible. I would probably give it a 3 star. It was cool while I was reading it. Probably not going to stick with me very much. I am going to be donating this to a little library. But yeah, I mean, it was a cool story. It was all right. 3 stars, nothing bad, not the worst book I've ever read, not the best. The next book I read in this was I Who Have Never Known Men. This book is very short. It's a novella, I would say. It's it's under 200 pages. So this book is very short. I gave you a brief synopsis about what this book kind of entails. It's a lot about what I said, but also not at all. This book and this book are very philosophical. If you like lit fic that is heavy on the prose, that makes you think, honestly with both books, makes you think on a deeper level, makes you question humanity and things, and you know, almost in an existential way, again, both, I would definitely pick this up. It's kind of, I don't want to say slow, because slow is not the word. It's kind of like mundane, which I love a mundane storyline. And like I said, it's very short. I don't want to give you anything else because it's how short it is. Read this book. Read this once in your life. It won't take long. I think this took me a day to read. Read this book. It is brilliant. It is so good. I love this book. This is probably now one of my more favorite books. This will stay with me for a long time. I think I would probably give this a 4.5. And then on to Martyr. This book was amazing. It was incredible. I don't even want to like blow smoke. This is a 5-star book for me, and I can see why it's been a 5-star. Both of these are viral, but I can see why this was a 5-star book for most people. The writing, it's lyrical, it's like poetic, it's almost like you're listening to music or something. I don't know, it just flows so naturally. This is a debut novel. I know that he has written other things like poems and like short stories and what have you, but this is his debut novel. Imagine being able to write something like this the first time you really sit down to try and write a novel. I am so glad that I am not I'm not a writer, because if this was what I had to contend with, I don't know if I would feel good about myself. This is incredible. This work is incredible. This is the most fresh in my mind because I just finished reading it. This was everything and more. I will remember this book. I will probably come back to this book. It's so beautiful. It's so poignant. This is incredible. If you were going to read one book from this, although really you should read both of these, but if you're going to read one from this vlog, I would tell you to read this one. This book just is a knockout. It's amazing, and it deserves all the hype it gets. I want to shake this man's hand because of how beautiful this was. So that is it for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, I would love it if you could subscribe, like, comment, or share, and I will see you in the next one.